Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here, returning to you for an album review I didn't get a chance to review yesterday, but I'm going to review it for you now for Kali Uchis' new album, Orquideas. Orquideas, I believe is how you pronounce it. Orquideas. I'm trying to pronounce it in the best way possible. I have a hard time with my pronunciations some of the time. So, I'm going to discuss what I listened to for all 14 tracks for this 44-minute album and let you know my thoughts on this record overall. So, let's dive into this album review. Now, it starts with Como Asi. Basically, it's a decent track. I didn't hate it for how it sounded, but if I were to give it an actual score, it's probably above decent, so 4.25 out of 5 for this one. Then comes Me Pongo Loca. This one was actually above decent in my opinion, so that's another 4.25 out of 5. Didn't hate Callie's singing in it. It was actually pretty nice. But overall, yeah, it was fine. Igual que un angel featuring Peso Pluma is another above decent track. Didn't hate it for how it sounded, but there were some moments where I liked it and moments where I was like unsure because the featurers had some cringy moments with his rapping and singing, but it was still above decent, so 4.25 out of 5. Pensamientos intrusivos, I believe is how you pronounce it. This is a solid track. I didn't hate it for how it sounded. Her vocals, Callie's vocals, were pretty nice with the Spanish singing too. So, pretty much singing in Spanish sounded pretty nice too. So, 4.5 out of 5. Diosa is a good track in its own way too. So, another 4.5 out of 5 for this one. Didn't hate Callie's vocals in this track. It just sounded pretty nice, and the melody was pretty nice too. Taimada is another good track in its own way. I did like some of the beat and some of the melody. It was pretty nice too, so another 4.5 out of 5. Then comes Perdiste, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Like I said, I have a problem with some pronunciations once in a while, but I try to make sure I say it as best as I can. This one's a good track. I liked Kali's Uchis' singing. It's pretty solid for what it is. So 4.5 out of 5. And then Young, Rich, and in Love is above decent of a song. I didn't hate this track, but it was fine for what it was, so 4.25 out of 5. Then comes Tor Corazon Es Mio, is a good track in its own way before we get to the one that I'm going to have a lot to say about in just a moment. So pretty much a 4.5 out of 5. Nice singing from Callie with her Spanish singing too, so it's pretty nice. And now we get to Munakita. Munakita, I believe is how you pronounce it, with featuring El Alpha, and JT. This song sucked. I don't know, I wasn't feeling for this track. I was left with really bad disappointment. And pretty much the track overall, it changes its melody so much. Even when someone's about to do their verse, El Alpha did his verse and it sucked. JT did her verse, didn't sound good, and Callie's vocals in this were kind of not great, in my opinion. She tried, but I don't think this song fully executed in a good way, so I'd give this a 2 out of 5. This was not very great. Labios Mordidos, featuring Carol G, is an okay track. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. I just wasn't feeling for this track for how it sounded. There's some moments I liked it, and moments where I found it to be a little underwhelming, so this is in the middle with me. No Hey Le Porta Parte 2, featuring Alejandro, is a decent song. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. It didn't sound so bad, just um, it didn't execute in the best way I thought it would. So it was fine. So 4 out of 5. It is what it is, I guess. Helidito is a good track. It's probably one of the final good songs I would say is the highlights for this record. And her Spanish singing vocals sound really nice. Callie's Spanish singing vocals. So I really did like how it sounded, but I'd give this a 4.5 out of 5. Dame Beso slash Muévete is below decent. It's kind of alright in a way. So I'd give it a 3.75 out of 5. The melody kind of goes too fast paced, and the mixing is a little off with this one in its own way. And Callie's singing is fine, but then she picks it up in a more fast paced way, and I don't really think it's my favorite track off this record. I think Munakita was one of the worst songs for the record. So overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I found this record to be meh. Not anything special, but I'm in the middle with this record. I don't hate it, I don't love it. I'm just in the middle. There's some tracks I like, some tracks I cannot get on board with, and one that is a big flop, personally. So, pretty much if I were to give this whole album a score by Uchis, Orquideas, for her new album, I'm gonna have to give it a 6 out of 10. It's meh. I'm not feeling for it. It's going to be on my okay to meh albums of 2024. And I meant to say in the Kid Cudi album review, that album Insano will be on my okay to meh albums of 2024. And I said 2023 by mistake, because I thought it was 2023 still, but I was not really thinking. Just mistakenly said that. So basically, 6 out of 10 for Kali Uchis' new album, Orquideas, for her new album. Thank you for watching this album review today.